Susan, I want to thank you for being here today and being a part of the podcast.
Well, thank you.
So we have only known each other just a short time. How long have you been coming to Living Faith?
Last Sunday was 97 weeks.
97 weeks.
Still counting.
That's
almost 2 years now.
That's awesome. So, Susan, kind of tell me how your childhood was.
I'm a youngest child of a drinking family. My dad was in the Marine Corps for 23 years, and Mama drank and Daddy drank, and everybody drank.
How many siblings did you?
I have two sisters and a brother. One sister's already died.
Okay. And are you are you the oldest, youngest,
I'm
in the
the
middle?
Youngest.
You're the youngest.
They're 4, 5, and 6 years older than me.
Okay.
So.
And you kind of mentioned that you had a sister that passed away.
Yeah.
How old
breast
was?
Cancer. It was in 2012. She would have been late 40s.
Okay, but didn't you mention earlier that your mom and dad had a baby that was
their firstborn?
Okay.
Their firstborn child. When they first got married, and Mom was in Arizona, and Daddy was fixing to go off to Nam, and he died, and they brought him back, and the church chaplain told my mama that it was God punishing her for my dad's drinking and cussing. Mm. And my family never went to church. It was weddings and funerals only. And people down there in West Fork would joke, oh no, Bob's in the church, don't want to get hit by lightning. That's the kind of life I was growing up with. It just crushed her.
Yeah, I would imagine. So that was probably, maybe without that might have been a possibility that they might have went to church, but
both of their mamas went.
Mm. So what was life at home like as a kid?
Well, I'm my dad's second son. That's what he called me. Mm. He wanted another boy, and him and my brother never got along, ever. And I did the hunting and the fishing, and basically I drugged the toolboxes and the kill. I drugged the kill home for Daddy. It was fetch this beer, fix this drink. My dad used to have a construction company, and he was always having company parties. And like almost every single Friday or Saturday night, all the neighbors would come up and play cards and drink and shoot guns and, just have potlucks. It was just I thought it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad could be very violent when he was drinking. Yeah. So we tried to stay on his good side. Mm. But Mama had a pill for everything. Or a cookie. And Daddy had alcohol, every kind you can imagine. He used to bartend in San Diego when he was in the Officers Club.
Okay.
There. So he was always making weird concoctions. One time he made a green bean margarita or something. It was awful. I was his guinea pig on lots of stuff.
So how many, or I don't know how many, did your mom and dad, did they stay together?
Yes, they were together till they died.
Wow.
And I used to pray that they wouldn't. Because the fighting, the abuse, he'd knock her in the closet. She'd get up when he passed out. She'd get a stick of firewood and just beat the snot out of him while he was asleep in the chair. Mm. Yeah, that was normal.
Yeah.
And I thought it was normal because everybody else's parents was getting divorced. My parents had the farm still. We had vehicles, and we wasn't rich, but we had all the basic necessities, and they stayed together. So, that kind of led me to all my failed relationships because I was looking for, a replacement. Drinking and carrying on and fighting, that was just normal. Mom and Daddy stayed, My dad asked me one time, why do you stay with the guy that hit you? And I said, why did Mama stay with you? He didn't have an answer. So it's
Yeah, because I really, I didn't know the answer if your mom and dad stayed together, but I just assumed that they probably didn't. But I could see how, if they just stayed together, other parents are getting divorced. You just thought that abuse and stuff just normal. It's just how it goes.
It's what you do. You just cover it up. You don't talk about it, and you just go on about your business. Because if it was bad, they surely would have got divorced. Wouldn't still be living together. That's what I always thought. Wow. It was interesting to grow up and see other people's. There was a lot of ex-military in the country out there where I grew up in West Fork, and a lot of them had drinking problems. So all of us kind of went through the same things, but the parents all stayed together. You know, so that's just all I knew.
Yeah.
You just dealt with it.
So, and so then once you got out of home, moved away, how old were you when you left home?
18.
Okay. And did you graduate? Did you
Graduated high school, and I started college, but I dropped out of college and went to work construction with my daddy.
Oh, okay.
In 86.
Wow. Where'd you go to high school at?
Westport.
Okay. So, so your dad had worked construction.
Yeah, we built Butterfield Trail Village at that time.
Okay.
We were working on that.
Okay.
He had his own company on and off, but like big ones like that, or the Fayetteville sewer plant, we worked together on several jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your role there in the company?
Oh, we worked for another company, but I was just a laborer. I did concrete. I did help do sheetrock. Whatever had to be done, I did.
Oh, okay.
Because if you're going to work for Bob Watson, you have to keep up with his daughter. So his daughter had to work twice as hard.
That's funny. That's awesome. What's kind of take me through the path of teenager, young adult. You say you went to college, come to work for your dad. What did your lifestyle look like in that?
Well,
those times?
like I said, drinking was just part of what we did. I mean, it was every weekend. You know, every night we'd get off work, we'd go straight to the liquor store before we came home. And in the wintertime, Daddy kept a bottle of brandy behind the truck seat so it would warm you up because he was outside working the construction. He was cold, so it would warm you up. You know, it was just part of everyday life. My dad actually packed vodka bottles in my suitcase for my senior trip. He'd never, ever carried my suitcases anywhere. And he carried my suitcases and put them on the bus when we were going on our senior trip to Dallas. And that's when I figured out, that's when I learned that he'd stuck a bunch of vodka in there for us to have a good time on our trip.
Wow.
Only my dad. Only my dad. I worked construction, like I said, mostly did a lot of factories and construction because that's the type of work I was interested in because I wanted to be around my dad and make him proud. Drinking was always part of my life. That's not it. Why wouldn't you? I mean, my dad used to tell me, he said, there's always a day to drink. It's your birthday, it's not your birthday, your dog died, your dog didn't die. It's Monday, it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday. There's always a day to drink. And that's what he believed. You know, so I never thought anything was wrong about it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. What about your mama?
She drank. And she's had a lot of Indian in her, and she did not handle it very well. Yeah. She drank, took pills. The doctors had her on about 900 different pills, it seems like she took every day. She had uppers and downers and just, you name it. It was something bad happened, you either got a drink, a cookie, or a pill, literally, growing up. There was always something to help you get over the edge or to make you feel better.
What about the rest of your siblings? Did they leave early?
My brother left as soon as he graduated, and my sister Mary moved out when she started college. And Vicki Lynn moved out. And she's a little bit slow. She was a little bit slow, but she got moved out and got married a couple times. And me and my brother drank. Me and my brother did drugs. Vicki Lynn would drink some, but not a whole lot. And Mary, she was just a workaholic. You know, she's worked her whole life. She used to be corporate for Kellogg's almost 20 years.
Yeah. So, you know, me and you made a connection. Well, for one, you came to the church, but and I wish I would have. I thought I was gonna try to find it and read it, but you had wrote. Yeah, you had wrote.
Yes, I was praying that for your mama. That song for my family.
Yeah, you wrote a note because at the time my mom had overdosed several times and. Just, you know, I was getting just not wanting to deal with it, struggling, feeling convicted, feeling terrible because she's still my mama, but, you know, I just didn't want to be around her. I didn't want to go back to the hospital and deal with her, everything that comes with it.
Oh, yeah.
But, you
put it on my heart that being new, you was on fire. You know, you're on fire when you first get saved, and God's just everything, and He can do anything. And that song, that night at home when I heard it, it touched my heart, and I thought, I want you to know, this is my prayer for you, for your mama. You know, because it meant that much to me. You know, the church just loved me on me, brought me in, and loved on me so much that it made a big difference.
Yeah.
It made a big difference. Not just Jesus, but that made a big difference too. I mean, they didn't care if I was dirty, if I was old, if I was young, what I looked like. They just come into me, love me, and I really hadn't had a whole lot of that.
Yeah. That Sunday that you came in, you had shot up
Yes.
dope right out in
Big
the
old
parking
thick
lot
90, yep.
and come into the church high.
Yeah, I drank 100 proof vodka. I took a shot right here on my hand, and I missed, and it swelled up by the size of my thumb right there. And I finished my 100 proof vodka, threw it in the back of the truck, and I walked in, and Miss Kim Logan had been praying for me. She invited me, but she wasn't there. I stood on that very back seat in that back row, and I sat there, and pretty soon I just started shaking. I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't know y'all had 2 services. I thought I'd missed church, and I had this awful urge to go up front, and I was fighting it, but I went up front, and I got on my knees, and the Lord spoke to me, and I'm sorry,
No, that's
it's so beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
I asked Him to save me, and to clean me up, to save my soul, and to, He told me that day, I heard the Holy Spirit say that He was going to redeem me, deliver me, return my family to me, and I got my son back. We hadn't talked since 2018, and I got him back in my life, and He said, I didn't take your family from you, I took them home. My parents took them home for you, so they're going to be in heaven waiting on me. And I sat there and I prayed, and it was Miss Regina, I believe it was.
Yeah.
She came over, she saw me, she started praying with me, and we stood up, and I didn't notice it first, but that mist was gone off my hand. The shakes were gone. I didn't feel high anymore. I haven't used since then. Like I said, it's been 97 weeks. It was just the best thing I ever felt in my life. It's like a whole weight of the world was taken off my shoulders. And I'd never felt that loved. Never felt that loved.
What was life like before that? Like what got you, do you think got you to that state?
Of where I was?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my first son died when he was 15 days old. And I was dealing with that fairly well till my dad at the funeral was reliving his sons. And he tried to take the baby out of the casket so they wouldn't put him in the cold ground. And that really shook me because my dad was this big, mean Marine,
Yeah.
And for him to break down like that, I kind of lost it. And then you're always trying to fill that hole, that loss, that pain, and it was drinking and drugs. So that's what the construction dudes I worked with were always doing. And hit the bar every night it was open. Just trying to find that love, trying to fill that empty spot and take that hurt away. And as the years went on, several more failed marriages because I kept finding abusive, alcoholic, drug-using men. Lost my train of thought. There was, sorry.
Let me ask you about, because my mom done the same thing, and it always just, I just never could understand it. But, my mom would date guys that were just losers, that would beat her. And, that when I was 5 years old, we lived in California with this guy, and he committed suicide right there. Not in front of us. I actually before I walked in the house, I looked in the window, and I seen him laying there on the floor with a cigarette in his mouth. He had just committed suicide, and the cigarette's still burning. And but he would beat her. I mean, I'll be honest. Even as a kid, I was thankful he was dead. I mean, because I was scared he was going to kill us both. I mean, he was just a very violent, mean individual. But I just don't understand women. Why do you think women fall into love with guys like that?
A lot of times we're trying to replace the figure that we used to have or that we didn't have. And for me personally, it was because I didn't want to be alone, and I wanted to fix somebody. And as long as I'm trying to help somebody else with their issues, I didn't have to worry about mine. You don't focus on yourself when you're trying to help somebody else.
I think that's the first time I've had somebody. That's a good explanation.
It is.
You find somebody that's maybe worse off than you.
I can fix him. I can fix him. He thinks I'm cute. Hey, this might work. I don't have to be alone. We can make a future together. And if I could just love him enough, just love them enough and be unconditional on that, and just show them that they're accepted, because maybe no one's ever done that. Maybe that's why that's the way they are. That was my philosophy. I was given way too many chances, overlooked too many things, but we have a trauma bond. don't know if you know what that is. It's where you're used to, it's like being on drugs. The emotions and the chemicals your brain releases from the fighting, and then when you're apart, you have anxiety to be back together. It's a whole, the psychiatrist I've seen told me about all that stuff. But it's just, I was looking for someone to replace the man in my life that my dad was. And they fought, they were alcoholic, they stayed. And you start to believe the lies. No one else is going to want you. You're just a drug addict. You're this, you're that. No one's going to want you. No one's going to put up with you. So you take more abuse and you stay where you're at a lot longer than what you should. It's a sad part of the drug world.
So what was like, getting your fix and at the bars and stuff? How do you sustain life? Getting. I mean, what did
you ever heard the term functioning alcoholic? The drug addicts can do that too, because meth was my choice, and that's the upper. It always gave you more strength, more energy, work longer hours, work harder work. And you drank to come down.
So you were still working and the whole time.
Yeah.
But your kids, you had said about not seeing your kid. Did he just choose to separate himself from you, or
after my mom and dad both died in 2012, and I really went off the deep end. We had to move in town because I lost my Walmart job, my trailer, and my truck, and I'm gonna write a country song later about all that. Yeah. It's because we're used to living in the country, and he was used to having acres of country to run around in. Moved in town, and he hooked up with some bad people, and he had stolen my money, took my debit card, credit cards, all my medications, and all my tools. And I had to call the cops on him, and that broke my heart. But the bank wouldn't refund anything that I lost if I didn't press charges. And he did away with me then. I could see him walking down the street, and he'd just flip me off and start calling me names as I was driving by. And that just drove me further into more pain I wanted to get rid of. Meth is a very social drug. If you're not shooting it up, it is. If you're smoking it, that's a whole thing. You pass the pipe, you smoke it, and it's a very social drug. I mean, hey man, I'll meet you up there. All right, we'll get a few hits behind this, or over here, or over there, and it's scary.
I hated being high on meth and not having anything to do.
Yep.
I mean, that's where you start to lose your mind, especially being up a while, hallucinating.
Shadow men.
Yeah.
Yep. The sounds, the shadow men.
Yeah, I tell people that's never done it, but like if you see somebody moving at 3 a.m, or I mean, there's this. You're just trying to find it. You're wanting to do anything.
I used to paint the apartments I lived in. I'd repaint the walls. My landlords used to love me. It was always painted and cleaned up. You had the toothbrush on the baseboards.
Yeah, I had buddies that took aerosol cans and would spray paint their entire vehicle.
Yes.
Because
that's the Walmart brand. That's a Walmart paint job.
Oh man, yeah, that's
It's a shake paint. It's a shake paint because you shake the cans.
So, back to how many children do you have?
I only had 2. Then I had to have a hysterectomy for precancer cells.
Okay.
So God knew right then.
Yeah.
God knew. After Ray, there wasn't no more.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
So back to when you found your what drew you. Was it just your friend inviting you to church? Is that just you just thought?
She'd been praying for me for like 15 years. And she's always telling me, I'm praying for you. That she said there's a good church. I should come to the church. And she's just telling me how much God loves me and all that stuff. And I guess I was literally helping drop a transmission at my friend's house out in Wheeler. And he was like, don't you have somewhere you're supposed to be? And I was like, oh yeah, I told so-and-so I'd come to church. And he said, then you better get. So I went home and changed clothes and went to church. She just kept praying, telling me what a good life it was and how good God could be, and that God has the love that I needed. And I guess at that point, that's what I wanted to try. Yeah. What was it going to hurt me?
Had you went to church or anything before?
I had some before.
Okay.
Like right after my first kid died. And then that kind of ended abruptly. How could God take something? We were 2 of us there and we prayed. The Bible said if 2 of you are there, you get what you pray for. And I figured he didn't love me. He didn't care. He took my kid anyway. And that was a pretty hard thing. And I didn't want to hear about it.
Isn't that crazy? That's almost a repeat of what your mom and dad went through.
I believe it is. Generational curse.
That's wild. So, so back to once you got saved, and I was there that night.
Yes, you were.
Or
That
morning, I mean.
Did you remember the painting they were painting?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
She said it was a dove. But when I looked up from the altar, when I looked up, I saw what she said was the dove of the tail. And she said, I don't know why I drew that red line with the paint. When I looked up, I saw this. I saw a hand reaching through the blood to come get me.
Wow.
I so get emotional because it's just such an awesome thing that happened. I mean, I never expected it.
Yeah, and what was so crazy? I don't think I've ever seen what happened. They took up an offering. People just started bringing up money.
Pastor said that God said show you that the devil has to give back, or going to restore what the devil took from me.
Yeah.
Because I was living in a place that had rats and raw sewage running, literally. I mean, I killed one in the bed with me, trying to get my cough drops. I mean, I can show you a video. It would scare you. They're on top of the TV warming themselves.
Wow.
Yeah, and I gave it to Miss Kim. I asked her to hold it.
I remember that.
Because I said, hey, this is too much money. I didn't trust myself at first. This is too much money. I need you to hold this.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to take this blessing, and waste it.
So I want to talk on that because there's a lot of things that just blew my mind that day that you come up and get. I believe it was just so real. And two, you came up and was not going to make another empty promise to God. Like you had already, I don't know how that worked. So just concrete decision, but
he took it. I don't have to have a decision about that. Meth never enters my mind.
That's crazy.
Ever. I mean, it's. And I was from the time I went home that night. I've been talking to every one of my friends that still used it. Hey, and they were all like, yeah, and I'm like, seriously, I went to court. I was in a drug court program, and I told the judge. And I walked in, and she says, I don't know what's changed about you. And she did that. She says, but I like it. And I said, well, let me tell you what happened, Judge. And I told her. And that's in this Arkansas State record. You can go look it up if you want. Jesus. That's what I said. Jesus did it.
Yeah. Yeah, because that morning when you gave your life to Christ, you actually unapologetic said, hey, I come in here high.
Yeah.
I had a bruise on my hand. It's not there. And people started bringing up money. I mean, you touch people's heart, just the realness, just the rawness. And then, and I seen Kim holding that money, and I was like, hey, that was her. And she's like, yeah, she told me to hold it because she didn't trust herself with it. And I was like, man, it was like God saved you and instantly started putting wisdom into you, and you just were committed. You were just so committed to show God, like, hey, I'm down for what the path looks like.
The love that I felt at that moment. I mean, I smiled probably 2 weeks straight. Seriously, Regina said, you know what that is? I said, I don't know what this feeling is. I was crying. I don't know what this feeling is. And she says, it's the love of God. And I had never felt that. And it just blew me away that after all the sin and nasty things I had done in my life, and the way I had lived my life and how I had cursed him, that he could love me so much.
Yeah.
He's a good, good God.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't shy away from telling people how good he is.
I don't. I'll tell you what my story was. I'm not ashamed of it because that's what got me where I am.
Yeah.
If I hadn't lived that life, I may never got to know Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, and and two, I think you have realized that even though that lifestyle is shameful, and there's a lot of shameful things done in that lifestyle, you no longer have to carry that shame with you because you're a new creature in Christ.
Every time the devil tries to whisper something, you know what I tell him? That's under the blood. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can't guilt me about that because it's under the blood, buddy.
Yeah, I love it.
Yep.
That's incredible. I'm telling you, you're such a. When I listen for your praise in the church, because it's so just unapologetic. Something will touch you and you just give God glory. And usually there's emotion behind that because, the Bible talks about who has been forgiven much, loves much. Yeah. And you're just a beneficiary of somebody that has been forgiven much, but also has received much love.
Yeah.
You know, and just feeling that.
It changed my whole life. I mean, I spent more time when I was in drug court telling people about the Lord and how good He was and what He did and how He could help them. I was asked to come back and speak to new classes that were coming in from the drug court, and that was a blessing for me. That old drug addict Susan could come in and maybe be a light for somebody else, and that's my hope. That's my prayer, is that my story might let somebody know it's okay to come in.
Oh yeah.
Come in dirty. Come in high. Come in drunk. I don't care. Just come in.
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you about my Jesus.
Yeah.
You know that song, if you don't believe in miracles, come see.
Yeah.
You know?
You're literally the walking image of come as you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally came in high.
Pretty high.
Drunk maybe, or, you know, under the influence of alcohol, under the influence of meth. Came into church. Asked God to forgive you and save you.
And He did.
And He did. He sobered you up, because when you were...
He did. He sobered me right up.
When you were talking, you were sober-minded.
Yeah.
It did not for a second sound like you were high. You were clear-minded, talking about how God had saved you. I mean...
It hit me so... I mean, it was like a ton of bricks. It hit me all at once. Everything just happened at once.
Yeah.
You know, I was cleaned up, delivered from it. No doubt about it. He redeemed me. He showed... It's just His love.
Put money in your pocket.
He put money in my pocket. And you know what? That was such a blessing. I mean, it scared the snot out of me. I didn't know what I was afraid I was going to go home and, you know, hey, let's get high. But I had Miss Kim hold it. You know, I had her dole it out little bit by little bit when I needed it. And thank God that she did.
Yeah.
She's a good woman. I love her.
Man.
She prayed for almost 15 years for me.
You know, there's just so many amazing... I wish everybody could have got to experience just that moment. I mean, it was incredible. It was incredible. It was like, it's almost like the prodigal son story coming to life.
Yes.
I mean, you know, God brought you up, forgiving you of your sins.
You know what?
Put not a ring on your finger, but money in your hand. You know, cleaned you up, sobered you up. I mean, it just. Wow, what a moment that was.
It was, I relive it all the time, and I'm so happy that I do. Because anytime I start to doubt, or the devil tries to whisper something to me, I say, no.
Yeah.
Because I believe every word that the Bible says. I believe every word He told me.
Yeah. He
loves me. He wants a better life for me. And it's just a God thing. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
It's a God thing. Yeah,
and you didn't just come into church and just become a church goer. You were involved. Yeah. I mean, I see you at about every event that there is.
Well, I want to help. I want to help.
And you do. Yeah. I mean, you work. You go to the Refresh and Connect. To the women's Bible study. Yeah, tell me everything that you're a part of.
Well, it's Fresh and Connect, and then the women's Bible study, and then the new reboot program that we have on Friday nights.
Yeah.
It starts at 7. Get a free dinner, and it's we discuss rebooting our lives. You know, the addictions and how God can help us and where He's leading us to, and it's just good fellowship, and it's way better than being at any kind of bar you ever thought about being in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got some spiritual warfare classes that are going on Saturday mornings that I've been starting to go to.
And then you're picking people up?
Well, yeah, getting my truck.
Yeah.
They used to joke about it. Pastor even asked me, what do we talk about this getting your truck thing? Because if you rode in my truck, you had to hear about Jesus, and I only played Christian music. So the women would give me money in women's Bible study, so I'd pick up my friends and take them like to drug court or wherever I was taking them, because they knew I was going to talk to them. Mm. And I did. Mm. I talked to all of them. I still do. Anybody gets in my car, that's how it is. We're going to talk about Jesus.
And also, recently, God blessed you with a new rig.
Oh, my goodness. My truck kept breaking down on me, and I was just down the dumps. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was out walking my dog about 9 o'clock at night, and Pastor called me, and he said, Miss Susan? I said, yes, Pastor. What's up? What's going on? He says, well, I just want you to know that church is going to bless you. We have a vehicle for you. We're going to give it to you Sunday morning after church. My feet were this far up off the ground. I didn't know what to think about that. And it's paid for. It paid for. It gave me the title. And it's every button inside of it works. Every knob does something.
Yeah,
every window goes up and down.
Your truck was rough.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah.
But it's what you made it work.
Yeah.
And
it's just the blessings. They still don't stop.
Yeah.
I mean, someone just blessed me with the whole backseat of my car right now is full of clothing. That somebody that had died, and they're giving me that they think is my size. But the good thing about that is I get to pass those on also. I get to give those to the Refresh and Connect, to help other people. Because I used to get showers, I used to get clothing, I used to get food from y'all's program, and when I was living in the streets, in a tent under the bridge by Taco Loco. Yeah, I used to go and get the stuff that church found. Now I get to be the person helping.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. 'Cause I know a fair amount of the people still. Yeah. And it's like, hey, come here, let me tell you what happened, And I was surprised because some of them were like, oh, I don't want to hear it, but most of them are like, yeah, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. And I'm like, well, let's be happy together. Come on, come to church with me. And there are several couples in church now that I used to shoot up with, get drunk with, that are now serving the Lord, and it just makes me the happiest person. I mean, my little heart just pitter patters because it's like my little outside family is now a church inside the church family. Yeah.
I got to experience that as well when I started serving the Lord. Is that what just sometimes even my own decisions, my own actions, things that I lost or that were taken from me, God restored to where not only was that given back, but even some of the things that were taken from me, I get to, by choice, give away.
Yes. That's, he also gave me the courage to leave an abusive husband that I was battling back and forth with. I still pray for him every day. He needs Jesus. Yeah. We all need Jesus. I pray for him every day. And the thing is, God has taken the bitterness out of me. I'm not bitter about it. I'm not mean about it. And I was really worried that that's how I was going to be. And I didn't want to be like that. And God said, you don't have to. You give what I'm giving you. Let it flow over. You show the love that I'm showing you. And I just enjoy getting to give back to the community. Anything. That's what I told the judge on my speech when I graduated federal court. I just want to be able somehow to give back to everybody and everything. That program was a very good blessing. Yeah. And it to help other people struggling, because there's a way out. You don't have to be like that. You don't have to die like that. You don't have to be every night by yourself or using drugs or doing whatever you have to do to get your drugs. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do that. There's a way out. Mm. And it's amazing. There's so many people that are hurt that haven't felt the love. And that's what got me the most. I mean, I still feel that sometimes when we're worshiping. It's just this, you just feel the love of Christ on you, and it just takes every care away.
I'm going to ask you a question, something that I want you to go, the new Susan now. If you could...
Go back and talk to her?
Go back and talk to the old Susan that's in a tent, that's maybe just shot up, maybe doing things that she never thought she would do to just even be able to buy the drugs. Yep. If you could just sit down and talk to old Susan, what do you think you would have told her? What do you think the new Susan right now would tell her?
I think that I would tell her, I love you, just as you are. Mm. I love you. Because a lot of people are looking to hear that. They don't hear it. And it's a hard thing to go through that kind of life and think you're all alone. I love you, and I want you to be better, and I'm going to help you be better, because there's a way. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to be out here. And it's let me tell you about my Jesus. Mm. It's hard to think of the exact words, but I would tell myself, you stop what you're doing. You're killing yourself, mm-hmm. and you're killing everybody that ever did care about you. If my parents would have been alive still, that would have been devastating to my parents. But I miss them every day. Yeah. Just tell her that you don't have to live this way. There's a way out. It don't cost you a dime. Mm. Yeah. Just for free.
That's so true. You coming into church, other than what little bit of gas maybe you spent to get there. But thankfully, God doesn't require anything of us but just for us to accept Him as our Savior.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say how easy is that, but I mean, it has to be true in your heart. I mean, you can say the words, but if you don't mean it.
That's right.
But it's just, why wouldn't you want to?
Yeah.
He's made. I mean, it's just like I'll never get over it. It's just the love. That's why I tell everybody. It's just the love that you feel. Plus the church I go to.
Yeah. So what's the path for the new Susan? What's some?
Well, I still would like to get some kind of education and be able to help, with addiction. I would like to be a better part of the addiction ministry, the reboot that we have at our church. I would like to do something to help more people, more women, battered women's shelter even. I've been in some of those before too, just to help women to know the love of Christ and to know that there's a way out and that they're not alone.
Yeah.
Bring them in.
I bet you will.
That's my plan.
I bet you will, because I was thinking, man, I wish you and my mom could have met.
Yeah.
I think that she would have really benefited from just talking with you, especially the new Susan, and just but thank God that you're around to speak life into the women that maybe feel like they're not worth anything, or they don't have any hope, or they don't have anybody.
There's a lot. Even
them they love them.
Even some of the ones that are in relationships out there, if the drugs are involved, then there's really, that's not love. You don't want someone you love to go through that just so you're not lonely and intent. You want to have better. You want to do better, and I just want them to know that they're loved. I go around hugging strangers all day. I'll pray for somebody at Walmart.
Yeah.
I pray for somebody at this swimming pool apartment complex. He was joking, and I said, I'll lay hands on you, pray for it. And he said, all right, bet, do it. And I did, right there in the pool. I mean, I'm not ashamed of Jesus Christ in any way.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that my new job's I'm going to get in trouble if I keep talking about him like that. But you know what? If I do, he's going to give me a new job anyway.
Right. That's right.
So I don't have to worry about it.
That's
I'm going
right.
to keep talking about the Lord.
Yeah. Susan, one of your greatest impacts, especially for me, I feel like you've made me a better person just because of your unapologetic love and for Christ and letting people know. You speak out about how God has changed you. When you talk about Jesus, I mean, most of the time you tear up. You just have such
he's so wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, he took me, dirty, grubby, drug addicted, bad person, thieving, stealing, whatever I had to do, and he just wrapped his arms around me. You can't get no better than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't. And I finally had the courage to ask my sister and her husband live in Kansas if they knew the Lord. And I said, I have to ask you, Mary. And she says, well, yeah, we do. We know him. Don't worry about it, little sister. And that was like a weight off my shoulders because, she used to always call me white trash. We never got along. But since I've been saved and cleaned up my act some, she's telling me she's proud of me nowadays and stuff. So it took me a little courage to build up to ask her because, I look at her up here, But that just blessed my heart so much. Go see them too. Get to heaven, go see them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you're one of my favorite people. I'm so thankful that I get to see your journey. That what God, I mean, it's just incredible. It's so encouraging. When I told Jennifer that, I said I'm going to bring Susan on the podcast, she's like, "Oh, that'd be so good." just because we get to see it in real time, in real life of
the change,
what God is doing in your life, and it's not a subtle change. I mean, God has put you almost on a rocket of just change and things happening in your life and doors being opened, doors being shut, and I just think it's incredible, and God's just getting started.
Hey, I've got my brother who used to have some self-proclaimed warlock, let's just say. And I used to throw, after I got saved, I started throwing his demon books away. And he is now saying things on my Facebook page like, amen, thank God. And I'm going to pray him in too.
Yeah.
I'm going to pray him in. That's my brother.
He's just a forefront on the battleground.
Well, that's what he calls us for. We're supposed to go forth. We're supposed to go tell him about Jesus. Right? I mean, that's why he got us. That's what we're here for.
Yep. I had this thought talking about just because we are, if we're not pressing forward for the kingdom of God, if we're not on the front lines of the battle, then we're a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
Either way, we're in a battle. You cannot get, whether you serve God or don't serve God, you're in the midst of a spiritual battle.
Yes.
And Satan is only here to kill, steal, and destroy.
Absolutely.
And we're only here by the blood of Jesus Christ to press forward and to save, to tell people the truth. The only way that can pull them out of sin, can pull them out of eternal destruction, out of hell, that Jesus Christ is the only doorway.
Yes, the only way. He
is the only way to heaven, and we just have to be on the forefront of telling people, just like you said, it's his soul. Everybody out there, the ones that are homeless, that are in a tent, or feel like nobody loves them, if they're shooting up and don't care if they...
Trying to fill that emptiness, that void, that loneliness, the sadness.
Yeah.
I still go out in trails sometimes. I'll go out and walk the trails looking for somebody to talk to. And one of the ladies at church said, "Aren't you afraid?" And I said, "Well, I wasn't afraid when I was high as a kite. You know, Jesus is walking with me now. What's going to happen? Am I going to get to go to heaven?" You know, that's my philosophy. I mean, I don't, if it's my day, it's my day. If it's not, let's keep going. We got work to do.
Yeah.
There's somebody down there that needs to know that they're loved.
Yeah.
They need a hot meal. They need to know that they're loved.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's just working for the Salvation Army, even just feeding meals out, I want something, but it's got to have God in it.
Yeah.
It's got to have God in it, because that's the whole world changer right there.
Yeah, I like that. We got work to do. I think that's a good way to end it. And I think you're a perfect example of showing what we got work to do looks like. You put the work in for people's souls, to get closer to God, to express the love of God. The more
you go, the more you do, the deeper the love feels. The more my walk with Him gets better every day. Every day that I read His Word or do something that He commands us to do. I don't like that word command, but I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That He tells us to do, to bring
commissions us.
Yeah. It's just, it feels good to be doing the right thing and helping others by doing it. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It feels good to, I relate to the first party that I went to that was a Christian party, and, I laughed on the way home, and just like, I think this is the first time that I went to a party. I'm not worried about getting pulled over. I'm not drunk. I'm not high. I remember everything that happened. I don't have any apologies that I need to send out, and I didn't create any new enemies. Yeah. But, it was like, wow, I had a good time, and I didn't do nothing wrong. It was fun,
The day I got saved, several people came up to me after I got saved and asked me to pray for certain family members. You were one of them, and there were some other people for their children or for their sisters, and that blessed me more than anything, that somebody would trust me to pray for their loved ones.
Yeah.
What a special thing, that you would trust in me to share what God gave me to somebody.
Yeah.
If that's the way you word it right. But it's just, I've talked about you from day one since I got saved. Everybody I go, this big old business guy down there, you ought to see him. I said, he just loves everybody. It's you and Pablo.
Oh yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. Just sharing the love of Christ with everybody.
Yeah.
I just can't get over it.
Yeah, and I think that the people had the same thought as I did, is that you were just so real, transparent, and I just know, Susan, that you're the type of person that if I ask you to pray for something, you're going to take it serious and you're going to pray.
Yeah. I've asked the Lord to remind me at the end of the night when I'm doing my prayers. If I told somebody I'm going to pray for them and I haven't, to remind me. And I've got now to where I put a note in my phone. Because if I tell you I'm going to pray for you or pray for someone you ask me to, I'm going to do it. Yeah. Because I know God can move in mighty ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
He can.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm on your prayer list. Well, Susan, thanks for coming here and just sharing your story, sharing your love for God. Like I said, the story's just beginning.
Yes.
And I've seen the impact that you made. People love you. People feel comfortable around you. They don't They're not ever worried about feeling judged around you.
Yep.
I believe that people can be their self, and you just bring a warmth. You bring such a warmth to, I hug you like I would hug my mama.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you just got just a sweetness and kindness to you, and I'm so thankful that God just rescued you out of that pit and just set a fire on you that's contagious, that's impacting people's lives. I mean, you're living what you were created before you're ever born to do, and that's just to love people and to bring them out of. Show them hope.
Devil tried to take me out, and God used what he meant for evil for good.
That's right.
You know, and now I have a testimony that I can tell you, no matter what you've done, if you think you've done something bad, I've probably done something worse. And look at this, God's going to save you too.
That's great.
He don't look at where you've been, he looks at where you're going.
Yeah. And he don't care where you've been.
No, he don't. That's what's so good about it. No matter what you did.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what you did.
Yeah.
You come to him, and he's going to love you.
Yeah.
And he's going to release you from all that.
That's awesome. Well, guys, thanks for watching, and I just hope that Susan can be an encouragement to you. She has admitted that her past looked terrible, and she's done things that she's not proud of, and things that Satan tried to just destroy her life and people around her. But God allowed her to come as she was, and just out of that thankfulness, she has become such a warrior for the cause of Christ. She's unapologetic about her faith and her love for Jesus Christ. And God is doing incredible things for her. And I know that God is going to do things that from this moment on, even more incredible than already the incredible things that's happened. So I would just let her story be a reminder that you've never gone too far. You've never been too terrible, too bad. You might feel unloved, but know that God has never given up loving you. He's always loved you and always wanted you to just come to him. You don't have to fix anything. Susan didn't fix one thing. She came in high. She came in drunk, but she just came in and surrendered to Christ, and Christ just started the healing and the blessing and the encouraging and put her to work. Yes. Put her to work, and she's working for the Lord, and it's just incredible. So Susan, thank you so much, and it's just an honor to have you, and it's an honor to be your friend, and just an encouragement to everyone around, and I'm excited to seeing the continuation of what God's doing in your life.
Well, thank you, and you're a blessing. You're a blessing. Just giving the hugs, treating me like I'm just a regular person, Well,
you're more than a regular person. You're a hero in my eyes. You're a hero. I mean, you walk tall, and I mean, you know what? If God was to write a new Bible, you'd be in it. You would be in it. I believe I would read it. I mean, I would read it and find encouragement and just think, that's an incredible woman that just took the hardships, learned from them, took the love of God, and just ran with it and went to work.
Yeah, I want everybody to feel the love. I do. It's life-changing.
Yeah.
It's life-changing. I'll never go back.
Hey, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed Susan's story. I feel like I could have her at every Thanksgiving, every Christmas dinner. She is just such a joy to be around. But Satan tried to steal from her. God has just amplified, and just the joy she brings to the people around her. On our next episode, I'm super excited. I'm going to have my beautiful wife with me. We're going to just talk about our financial journey, just the loss of everything, the struggle that we had, and what God taught us through all that struggle. I think it's really going to help you. If you've ever struggled financially or just felt like you're stuck, I would encourage you to watch it. I think you're going to pull something from it. And remember, the best way to become an idiot is surround yourself with idiots, and you'll become one. See you in the next one.